Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something important, something pretty critical, actually.
Yeah, it feels like a big step. We're moving past just, understanding AI
Right.
to actually using it, making it
Yeah.
work for you in your job, day in, day out.
Exactly. And our source for this deep dive, it's basically the final word from this advanced program. It's all laid out in the book AI Mastery for Professionals by Mr. Zahir Ahmad Mir. We're looking at the conclusion, the big finish.
The grand finale, as they call it, yeah.
So the absolute starting point, the philosophy that kind of underpins everything else, is this quote they use right at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, that one sentence really hits home, doesn't it?
It does. Mastery is not a destination. It's motion. Boom. That just sets the stage perfectly. It tackles that anxiety we all feel, right? Like, how can I possibly keep up?
Totally. It says right away, you don't have to know everything. That's not the goal.
The goal is just keep moving, keep improving.
Precisely. And remember, this isn't advice for beginners just starting out. This is the wrap-up of a whole professional development program, episode 20.
Right.
So it's aimed at people already in their careers, professionals who know their stuff but need to integrate AI strategically.
So our mission here, for us and for you listening, is to pull out the key bits.
Yeah.
The frameworks, the tools they say you absolutely need, and this really practical 30-day plan they lay out.
Yeah, we're distilling the how-to for making this continuous growth actually happen, not just talking about it, but, doing it.
Okay, let's dig into that core idea a bit more. Moving from, okay, I get AI to now it's my ally.
Yeah.
That sounds easy, but it's a real mental shift.
It really is, because the temptation is to get overwhelmed by all the new stuff coming out every single day, new models, new tools.
It's relentless.
Yeah. And the source uses this great little story, the story scene, about the people who finished the program. It nails this point.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, imagine these professionals. They've gone through the whole thing. They meet up afterwards, and the realization hits them. None of them felt like they'd mastered everything. How could they?
Impossible.
Right. Instead, their successes were all different. One person got really, really good at prompt craft, specifically for their marketing work. Another built these complex automations for supply chain stuff. And another one actually used AI tools to help launch a whole new startup.
Wow, so very different applications.
Yeah.
Specialized.
Exactly. Diverse skills. But the thing they all realized, the common denominator,
What was it?
it wasn't about how much they knew. It was about the practice they kept up, the system they built for themselves. They figured out that defining mastery as knowing it all is just paralyzing.
Yeah.
But defining it as getting a little bit better every single day, that's doable. That's empowering.
It shifts the focus completely. From knowledge quantity to the quality of your process.
Precisely. That motion, that daily improvement, that becomes the definition of mastery. Especially in a field changing this fast, it's the only way to stay competent, really.
That makes so much sense. It takes the pressure off knowing every single detail and puts it on building a reliable system for improvement, which I guess leads directly into the first big framework they talk about. You need more than just willpower.
You absolutely do. You need an engine. And that's what they give you.
Yeah.
The Mastery Flywheel. That's exactly right. If mastery is motion, you need something to keep you moving. The Mastery Flywheel, it's a simple 4-step loop, but it's powerful because if you stick to it, it basically guarantees you keep getting better. It turns random learning into real, usable skill.
Okay, walk us through these 4 steps. Because it sounds like they're designed to feed into each other, right? Build that momentum.
They are. It starts, naturally, with learn.
Yeah.
Step 1. This is where you bring in new information, read about a new AI model update, understand a concept like, say, RGM.
Yeah, retrieval augmented generation.
Yeah, right. Or maybe you focus on a specific skill, like how to write prompts for checking legal documents or something, just focused learning.
But learning on its own isn't enough, as we just established. So step 2 must be immediate.
Immediately. Step 2 is apply. This is crucial. You take what you just learned and you put it into practice right away in your actual work.
So not just a test case, but real workflow.
Exactly. Learned a new way to draft meeting agendas, use it for the very next meeting you have, found a tool that might help classify project data, test it on your current project. This is where theory becomes practice, where you see if it actually works.
Okay, learn, then apply. What's step 3? You mentioned this is often skipped.
Yeah, step 3 is share. And it's so important. Most people learn something, maybe apply it, and then that's it. It stays with them.
Right. Knowledge hoarding, almost.
Kind of. But the flywheel says you have to share it. Talk about it. Tell your colleagues, your team. maybe even a wider community if appropriate. Share what worked, what didn't, what you discovered.
Why is sharing so critical in this model?
Two big reasons. First, it forces you to articulate it clearly. If you can't explain it well enough for someone else to understand, have you really mastered it yourself? Probably not. It exposes your own gaps.
Okay. Like teaching reinforces learning.
Exactly. And second, it turns your personal win into a potential team win. It helps build collective competence, not just individual skill.
Makes sense. Learn, apply, share. Then comes the quality check.
Step 4, refine. This is where you step back and analyze. You look critically at what happened during apply and share.
Okay.
Did that new technique really save 20% time like you hoped? Or was it more like 5% and it caused some new problems? When you shared it, did people understand? Could they use it? You identify the weaknesses, the things that need tweaking.
So you figure out what needs improvement.
Which then feeds right back into the learn step. You know what you need to learn next to make the process better.
And the whole thing just keeps cycling. Repeat. That's the motion part.
That's the engine. Learn, apply, share, refine, and back to learn. It builds improvement into your routine. You stop being just a user of AI. You become someone who designs processes with AI.
It's elegant because it's simple, but it forces that constant improvement loop.
That's the idea, a closed-loop system for getting better.
Okay, that's a powerful engine, but an engine needs fuel and the right parts. You mentioned the source is very specific about the tools required. It's not just using whatever's free online. They talk about a personal AI stack.
Yeah, this is the practical side. You can't just rely on, say, one chatbot for everything. That won't cut it for professional work. They mandate 4 specific types of tools that you need in your toolkit.
4 mandatory components. Let's break those down. The first 2 you mentioned, people often mix up.
They do. Component 1 is a creative LLM. Think of this as your brainstorming partner. Good for generating ideas, first drafts, writing in different styles, having open-ended conversations. They often prioritize fluency, sounding natural.
Okay, so for like marketing copy or drafting emails maybe?
Exactly. Things where creativity and flow are key, which is different from component 2, the analytical LLM.
How so?
The analytical LLM is built for rigor, precision. It's optimized for things like summarizing really dense, complex documents accurately, analyzing data, finding patterns, following complicated instructions step by step. Reliability is the priority here, minimizing mistakes or, hallucinations.
So creative LLM for drafting the marketing pitch, analytical LLM for checking the legal compliance of that pitch.
Perfect example. Different tools for different cognitive jobs. One's about breadth and fluency, the other's about depth and accuracy.
But how do I know which is which when I'm looking at actual products? Are they labeled creative and analytical?
Rarely. That would be too easy. No, this is a functional distinction you have to figure out. By testing them, you need to see which models excel at which tasks for you. How well does this one handle complex reasoning on your specific industry documents versus that one? How quickly does it generate creative options? That A/B testing they mention later in the 30-day challenge, that's partly designed to help you make this distinction.
Got it. Okay, so a creative LLM and analytical LLM. What's number 3? You said it goes beyond text.
Right, number 3 is a multimodal tool. Because work isn't just text, is it? You deal with images, charts, maybe audio files, code snippets.
All the time.
So you need AI tools that can handle that variety. Something that can look at a diagram and explain it, or listen to a recorded meeting and pull out action items, or maybe even help you debug code you upload. It's about making sure your AI toolkit matches the reality of your data.
That makes sense. Avoids bottlenecks.
Yeah.
And the 4th component, this one sounds like it blends into the background more.
That's the Copilot. This is AI assistance that's baked into the software you already use every day.
Like the suggestions in my email or word processor.
Exactly. Or maybe AI features in your operating system that help organize files, or coding assistance right inside your developer environment, like GitHub Copilot. The point is, it's integrated. It reduces the friction. You don't always have to consciously go to the AI. Sometimes it comes to you, offering help right where you are. Ambient assistance.
Okay, creative, analytical, multimodal, and Copilot. That feels like a solid foundation. Is that stack of 4 meant to cover everything, though?
No, and that's key. The source is clear. This is the minimum baseline, the foundation. Then, crucially, you have to add domain-specific apps as needed.
Ah, customization.
Essential. If you're a doctor, you'll need specialized medical AI tools.
Hmm.
If you're an architect, AI for generative design. The snack has to fit your field, your specific problems, the ones you found in that workflow audit we'll talk about. It's got to be dynamic. Without this tailored, diversified stack, your ability to really master AI is capped.
Okay, so we've got the process, the flywheel, and the tools, the stack. But just doing the work isn't enough in a professional setting, right? You need to show it's actually making a difference. It needs to translate into, well, value.
Exactly. The focus has to shift from just effort, I spent X hours learning AI, to impact. What did that effort achieve? If you can't measure the results, you can't justify the time, the cost, the changes to workflow, you can't show the ROI.
So how do they suggest measuring this? What are the key things to track?
The source is very specific here. Forget vague feelings, track tangible results. They outline 3 key metrics.
Okay, let's hear it.
Metric number 1 is probably the most obvious. Track time saved. This is about efficiency. Pure and simple. How much faster are you getting things done because of AI?
Like literally timing tasks before and after.
Pretty much. Did automating that report save you 90 minutes every week? Did using the analytical LLM cut research time for that project by half? You need the numbers. It proves the economic value faster, cheaper, more resource efficient.
Makes sense. Time is money, after all. What's the second metric? This one sounds like it tackles the quality concerns people have.
It does. Metric 2 is errors reduced. This is huge. It directly addresses the fear that AI might introduce mistakes or lower quality.
Like the accuracy issue.
Yeah. So you track improvements here.
Yeah.
Did using AI to cross-check data catch errors that humans missed? Did implementing an AI coding assistant lead to fewer bugs being reported later? This metric proves AI can actually improve quality and reduce risk, which is a powerful argument.
Okay, so time saved for efficiency, errors reduced for quality. What's the third?
The third focuses on growth, new skills learned. But this isn't just ticking a box that you watched a tutorial.
How do they define skill here?
It's about tangible new capabilities. Can you now design and implement one of those complex, multi-step agentic workflows we'll discuss? Have you mastered using multimodal tools for a specific, complex task in your job? It's about demonstrating concrete, advanced abilities you didn't have before, thanks to AI integration.
So time saved, errors reduced, new skills learned. Together, they give a pretty rounded picture of the impact.
Exactly. Efficiency, quality, and growth. It makes the value undeniable.
Okay, so now we're confident we can measure our impact, but then the source takes a really interesting turn. It's not just about personal gain. There's this responsibility element.
Yeah.
An ethical mandate.
Yes, this is where it moves beyond just being good at your job. It frames AI mastery as having a purpose beyond yourself. The idea is that true mastery isn't complete unless it's used in service to others.
Service. How do they define that?
It means actively using your AI skills and the benefits you gain, the time saved, the insights generated to help and uplift others, not just focusing inward on your own career or bank account.
And they actually specify who you should be serving.
They do. 3 specific groups. First, your family.
Family. How does professional AI mastery serve your family?
By applying those same principles of efficiency and automation to your personal life. Using AI to manage household tasks, organize schedules, maybe help kids with homework in smarter ways. Basically, using AI to free up time and mental energy for your family, bringing the benefits home.
Okay, interesting application. Who's second?
Students. This taps into a mentoring responsibility. Professionals who master AI have a duty, they argue, to help the next generation. Share your knowledge, guide students on using these tools effectively and ethically, help prepare them for the future workforce.
Right, passing the torch. And the third group, this one sounds bigger picture.
It is. The third is the nation. This connects your individual progress to a much larger goal. The source explicitly links it to a vision for, in their context, Pakistan's AI renaissance.
Wow.
The idea is that your personal story of mastering AI isn't just your story, it's a building block for national progress, for technological advancement for the whole society. But, and this is critical, it has to be guided by specific values.
Values. What value?
They explicitly mention 3: faith, ethics, and excellence. The implication is clear. AI mastery must be pursued and applied within a strong, ethical, and values-based framework. It's not technology for technology's sake, it's technology for principled advancement.
The significant layer of responsibility. Faith, ethics, excellence, serving family, students, nation. It really elevates the whole concept. But practically speaking, for someone under pressure at work, isn't that serve the nation part a bit abstract? How do you balance that with hitting your quarterly targets?
That's a fair question, and it's probably the toughest part of this philosophy. The argument isn't that you drop your job to do national service. It's that the way you pursue excellence in your job should align with these broader principles.
How so?
Well, think about it. If you use your AI skills to, say, improve the accuracy and transparency of financial reporting in your company, does that serve your company's goals? Yes. Does it align with ethics and excellence? Yes. Does improving financial transparency potentially benefit the wider economy or nation? Arguably, yes.
Okay, I see. It's about ensuring the application of your skills is constructive and ethically sound, not just personally profitable.
Exactly. The service mandate acts like a guiding principle. It pushes you to use your mastery for things that genuinely create value, solve real problems, and uphold those core values: faith, ethics, excellence. It stops AI mastery from becoming just a tool for ruthless, value-neutral optimization. It gives it a conscience.
So becoming an AI master, in this view, isn't just about technical chops. It's about becoming a responsible, ethical contributor to your field and potentially beyond.
That's the ultimate vision here. It connects the individual's journey directly to a larger purpose.
All right, we've got the mindset, the tools, the metrics, the ethics. Now for the get it done part, the source lays out this very concrete 30-day AI mastery challenge. This sounds like where the rubber really hits the road.
It is. This is the action plan. It's designed to kickstart that flywheel and get it spinning fast. It tackles that inertia problem head on. No more waiting, just doing.
And it's phased, right? Builds up over the month.
Yeah, 4 weeks, each with a specific focus. It starts foundational and ramps up pretty quickly to some sophisticated stuff by the end. The goal is, by day 30, you're operating differently. AI is embedded.
Okay, let's break it down. Week 1. Foundational workflow and prompting. Sounds like setting the stage.
Exactly. Get the basics right. Task number 1 is absolutely crucial. Set measurable goals for the month.
Back to those metrics we talked about.
Precisely. Time saved, errors reduced, new skills learned. You need to decide specifically what you want to achieve in 30 days, not just get better at AI, more like reduce time spent on task X by 2 hours per week, or learn to use multimodal tool Y for process Z. Quantify it.
Makes sense. You need a target, which probably requires knowing where you're starting from.
Which is task number 2. Conduct an audit of the current workflow. You have to really map out your daily and weekly tasks. Where are the friction points? What takes way too long? What's repetitive and boring? Where are the information gaps? Be honest and detailed. This tells you where AI can actually help you achieve those goals.
So you identify the pain points first. Then what's the skill focus for week 1?
Input quality. Task 3 is dedicated effort to learning advanced prompting techniques. This is fundamental. Garbage in, garbage out, right.
Definitely.
So you need to go beyond simple questions. Learn how to structure prompts effectively. Things like telling the AI who it should be, role-playing, giving it clear constraints on tone, length, format, and critically, techniques like chain of thought prompting.
Where you ask it to explain its reasoning step by step.
Yes. Essential for complex tasks and for verifying the output later. Good prompting is maybe 80% of getting good results, especially early on.
Okay, week 1 is goals, audit, and better prompts. What happens in week 2? The goal sounds like expanding the toolkit and building trust.
Yeah, week 2 is about broadening your horizons and making sure you can rely on the output. First task, actively use multimodal tools.
Bringing in component 3 of the stack.
Got it. You have to force yourself to use tools that handle images, audio, maybe code. Find a real task for it. Transcribe a meeting recording. Analyze data from a chart image. Get help with a code snippet. Step outside the text-only box.
And while you're using these potentially more complex tools,
You need to double down on trust. Second task for week 2. Implement processes to verify the accuracy of AI outputs. This is non-negotiable for professional work.
how do you implement a process for that?
It means having set routines, like always asking the analytical LLM for its sources, always cross-referencing critical information, financial data, legal clause against a trusted source. Maybe building checks into your prompts, explain your reasoning, highlight any assumptions made. You need a system for human oversight. Don't just blindly trust the AI.
Okay, that's critical. Week 3 looks like it really ramps up the complexity. Collaboration and agentic workflow design. What's that?
This is where you move from using AI for single tasks to using it for entire processes. It's a big leap. First task, design an agentic workflow.
Agentic, like AI agents.
Sort of. Think of it like an AI assembly line you design. You set up a sequence of steps where different AI tools, or maybe the same tool with different instructions, work together. The output of step 1 automatically becomes the input for step 2, and so on.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Maybe step 1. AI ingests customer feedback emails and summarizes the key issues. Step 2. Another AI task analyzes those summaries to spot recurring themes or trends. Step 3. Based on those trends, an AI drafts a report suggesting product improvements. Step 4. That draft report is automatically sent to the product manager. See? A multi-step process handled largely by AI, orchestrated by you.
Wow, okay. That's definitely moving beyond just asking for a summary. That's strategic automation.
It really is.
Mm.
And the second task for week 3 scales this thinking. Integrate AI tools into team collaboration strategies.
So not just your workflow, but the team's workflow.
Right. How can AI make the whole team work smarter together? Maybe you create a shared library of effective prompts for common tasks. Or use AI to automatically summarize long discussion threads in your team chat. Or use collaborative AI tools for drafting documents together. It's about lifting the team's capability, not just your own.
Okay, that's a significant progression by week 3. What's left for week 4? Optimization, sharing, and leadership. Sound like locking it all in.
Exactly. Week 4 is about refining, spreading the knowledge, and making it sustainable. First task, A/B test different AI models.
Back to figuring out which tool is best for which job.
Yes. Now that you've used AI for various real tasks, you can systematically compare different models. Which one gives the best results for summarizing your specific type of report? Which is fastest? Which is most cost-effective? This lets you fine-tune your personal AI stack based on actual performance data, not just hype.
Data-driven tool selection.
Yeah, smart.
Then, task 2 directly hits the share part of the flywheel. Share findings and accumulated knowledge with peers or the wider community.
Paying it forward. Absolutely. Document what you learned. Which prompts worked best? What were the results of your A/B tests?
Yeah.
Demonstrate that agentic workflow you built. This solidifies your learning and fulfills that service aspect we talked about. You become a resource for others.
And the final task for the month. This one sounds organizational.
It is. It's about making sure the momentum continues after the 30 days are up. Task 3. Nominate an AI champion within a team or organization.
An AI champion. What do they do?
This person becomes the point person for AI with
Yeah.
the team. They help maintain a prompt library, track the metrics, maybe organize short sharing sessions, keep an eye on ethical considerations. They basically act as the custodian to ensure AI integration continues to grow and doesn't just fade away after the challenge ends. It helps institutionalize the practice. Hashtag tag outro. So when you step back and look at that whole 30-day challenge and the frameworks underpinning it, it's quite comprehensive. It really ties together the how-to with the why.
It really is. It's not just technical skills.
Yeah.
It's process, measurement, ethics, leadership. It's all woven together. And they boil it down to these core principles at the end, these sort of axioms for mastery.
Yeah, 2 key takeaways. The first one really speaks to the challenge of keeping up. Consistency creates competence.
Right. Reinforces that flywheel idea.
Yeah.
Little and often is better than big efforts that fizzle out. Just keep the motion going.
Especially when the tech changes so fast, consistency is your anchor.
And the second axiom, it's like the master formula that pulls everything together.
The equation for mastery. Mastery, E-skill X, system A service.
Still time, system time, service.
Mhm.
And the multiplication is important, right?
Crucial. Because if any one of those is 0, the whole thing becomes 0. You can have amazing AI skill, but if your system, like the flywheel for applying and refining it, is broken, your mastery is incomplete.
And even when you have skill in system.
If your service, that ethical purpose, that contribution to others, guided by faith, ethics, excellence, if that's missing, the formula says your mastery is fundamentally diminished. It lacks true value in this framework. You need all 3 firing together.
Skill, system, service. That's powerful. It really encapsulates the whole philosophy.
It's the recipe for, well, ethical excellence, not just technical prowess.
And the final message from the source material is pretty direct, isn't it?
Yeah.
No ambiguity.
Nope. It's a clear call to action. Start today. Join the 30-day AI challenge. It's basically saying, enough learning about it, start doing it. Now, take that first step.
Align yourself with that motion, that drive for competence, build on those values. It's about participation.
Exactly. Owning your development ethically and practically.
So to bring this back to you listening, and that core idea we started with mastery is motion, continual refinement. Maybe the provocative thought to leave you with is this. Take an honest look at that mastery flywheel for yourself. Learn, apply, share, refine. Which one of those 4 steps is the weakest link in your current professional system right now?
Yeah. Where does your flywheel tend to stall?
And then the real question is, what difference would it make over the next 30 days if you deliberately focused on strengthening that specific step? Identifying that weak link, maybe that's the real start of your next cycle of mastery.
That self-assessment and the action that follows, that's putting this whole roadmap into practice. That's the challenge.
Definitely something to chew on. Thank you for joining us on the deep dive.
Great discussion. We'll see you next time.